James Reeb was at home with his wife in Boston, March 7, 1965, as the evening news portrayed armed state troopers and local police violently attacking voting rights protesters as they marched from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. This attack, which is often referred to as Bloody Sunday, led Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to issue a request that clergy members of all races and denominations from all around the country go to Selma to stand up and protest against the brutality of Jim Crow segregation.
Our city and our county has been subjected to the greatest pressures I think any community in the country has had to withstand. We've had in our area here outside agitation groups of all levels. We've had Martin Luther King. We have had...
It's time for us to say to these men that if you don't do something about it, we will have no alternative but to engage in broader and more drastic forms of civil disobedience in order to bring the attention of the nation to this whole issue in Selma, Alabama.
Reeb was aware of the danger involved in answering the call of Dr. King. He decided in the afternoon on Monday that he needed to go to Selma to join the protests. James Reeb's life mission was to help the less fortunate and to promote peace and tolerance. He was a Unitarian minister and also worked for the American Friends Service Committee, a longtime advocate for social justice. Reeb left his wife and 4 children at home and headed south on a late-night flight for what was intended to only be a short trip. Unfortunately, Reeb would never make it home again. On Tuesday, March night, Reeb joined a large group of marchers who, under the leadership of Dr. King, walked from Brown's Chapel in Selma to the same spot at the far end of the Edmund Pettus Bridge where the police had brutally attacked a group of protesters only 2 days before. After holding a prayer service at the site of the attack, the marchers turned around and returned to the chapel. That evening, Reeb joined 2 other ministers, Clark Olson and Orloff Miller, for dinner at a local black-owned restaurant, the only restaurant that would serve the marchers. As they left, they noticed 4 white men approaching, yelling racial slurs. The ministers tried to avoid a confrontation, but were attacked from behind. Reeb was hit on the side of the head with a club, knocking him to the ground. He suffered a severely fractured skull and massive brain damage. His injuries proved to be fatal. The other ministers were punched and kicked, but they averted serious injury. After being kept alive by life support for 2 days, Reeb passed away on the evening of March 11th. The 4 men who attacked Reeb and the other ministers were arrested by the local sheriff the day after the attack on charges of assault with the intent to commit murder. After Reeb died, the charges were changed to murder. In April, a grand jury indicted 3 of the men, brothers William and Naaman O'Neill Hoggle and Elmer Cook, but they dropped the charges against the 4th man, R.B. Kelly. At the end of their trial in December 1965, all 3 men were found not guilty by an all-white jury, despite the testimony of Clark Olson and Orloff Miller. The death of James Reeb brought national attention to the voting rights struggle. While many white Americans ignored the violence against countless black citizens, the killing of a white minister from the North was viewed as unacceptable. Even President Lyndon Johnson got involved by arranging flights to and from Selma for Reeb's wife and father, and by going before Congress in a televised address 4 days after Reeb's death to call for a strengthened voting rights bill. In this address, President Johnson used the civil rights phrase, "We shall overcome."
And we shall overcome.
Congress subsequently passed the Voting Rights Act, and President Johnson signed it into law in August.
We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand today. Oh, deep in my heart, oh, I do believe that